Hello, guys. Welcome back to the stream. As you've already seen today I'm doing a bit different, totally different thing. I'm going to tell you about psychology, philosophy, and how I think about human behavior. I've been an apprentice of human behavior psychology philosophy for the past 6 7 years, and recently I wrote a book called Stone Age Mind in the Space Age World. And I am going to give you a bit of understanding about how this world works and how you think what you think about yourself is a lie, and how you can liberate from it. So let's get started. So before going dive deep into the subject, I also released a book called Stone Age Mind, the Space Age World. I'll link down below. You can get the manuscript and connect with me directly after reading the book. And you can give your suggestions, you can give your thoughts about it. And if I like, I'll definitely put it in my release book and will put your name there. So let's start with the book. So the book, as you already see here, a 1 minute summary. So why I wrote this book? Because I feel no one understands themselves, no one knows why they think themselves as they think they are, and there are a lot of fear, there are a lot of understanding about the world that they really don't understand. So for an example, let's just say, and if you're thinking about why I have this pen and paper, so pen and paper is basically give you an understanding of any type of topic or anything you are writing. It gives you the mind and hand connection. So whatever you are researching, writing, it gives you more understanding, more depth in your thing, whatever you are doing. So it's must thing if you still write on pen and paper. Let's start with the Prem was someone, you know, who used to live millions of years. Okay. And he used to have a house in a cave, and he he doesn't understand the world कि दुनिया कैसे काम करती है. Okay. So we were human, we were living in tribes, and we didn't know how the outside world worked. When the storm comes, जब बिजली कड़कती थी, जब जब पानी बारिश होती थी, तो he used to comfort himself thinking there is some power above than him that controls this wind, this thunder, and he used to paint whatever comes first in his mind, like buffalo, some alien kind of shit that he used to imagine or think, okay, it can control. Cut to the few thousands years or few millions years. So there were species called scientists. Okay, so they were very curious. They were not like some other people in the world. They were someone who questions things. Care how things work. curious people like you and me. If you're watching this video, you came to this video, it means you are curious about something that you really want to know. So there were people who are more curious than other and wanted to find what's behind the curtain. And they debated that the thunder you see is a part of our ecosystem. It's a part of earth. It's a part of atmosphere. The wind you see, the rain you see, it's an evaporation system that our our earth is doing for the millions of years, billions of years. And people, either people were with them or against them. Let me give you the psychology behind it. जब भी कोई चीज नई मार्केट में आती है ना, people, एकदम नई चीज, right? People really don't want to accept that because it is not in their comfort zone. People really hate taking things which they believe they're it is contradicting their belief. So it happens and happens, and cut to the modern world. We are still believe in some superficial shit that still exist for some of us, for some of not. You can call it anything. And why Homo sapiens, if you don't know, there were at least six, seven prajatiyan exist before um before Homo sapiens. There, Homo sapiens is a scientific name of humans. Okay. And उससे पहले there were Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthal. There are a lot of species before us. And when when they are all died, we were the core survivor of this planet. And how we, you know, how we came to this stage where most of the species of our species were not survived. So back in those days, when we were primates, okay, we developed certain things that called the Vinci Code. No, not the Vinci, but it's the Vinci, right? Who gave the theory of evolution? Darwin's. Darwin's gave the theory of evolution. So when we were evolving, so every species have different speciality. Okay. And that's how we evolve from learn from one another, eventually genetically modified in that stage where we dominated the world. And let's say one species came, they were they were intellectually smart, they knew a bit smart, they knew how to, you know be with someone. So if you see animals, right, especially small insects or whatever you species you see, I have a tarantula in my mind. So tarantula is a species who fucks his husband and kill him. and he got pregnant, and the cycle goes on. Okay. And every species had different thing. Like some fish just give birth and go away. Their child survive on their own. Some species like put their eggs in someone else's stomach, and when they born, the first thing they do, they eat the host, they develop themselves and then fly away. There's no connection between mother and father to their children. And that's where we differ. First species define who we are. They get intimate. They they decide to be with the person they fuck. And when other species evolve, they get certain more speciality. Like when our some beloved person die, we mourn for them and we decide to go in their grave and think of them, right? So this comes from our previous species, where they decide, or they had a thing where they have a feeling for someone. They go and in lots of research and digging, they find that there are a lot of species. They were you know mm, uh, वो दफन हुए थे in the same space where their loved one were graved. So this kind of thing happened throughout the evolution, where we become, uh, very, um, very, like what we call family oriented and thinking oriented. So once we once we realize, okay, we have a thinking mind. And how we realize? The fictional paradox, right? The fictional superpower, as you can see here, right? This 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 gives us a superpower where no other species had this advantage over us, because we live fucking fiction. How? We made money, we believe in something that it's non-existence. uh, we we cut the trees, make the home, and call it state, nation. And we read someone's work, we eat someone things, and they are even we don't even know you are watching me. You don't even know me. That's what apart. That's what this is what one of the most fascinating thing, that apart from any species, right? So the fictional thing we created because we believe, a lot of humans believe in certain things. If we don't, then it doesn't make that value that we think it has. For example, money. A lot of people think कि money is a valuable thing. Just think for 1 second. If we right now, if you think money has no value, okay, would the money have value? The answer is no, not at all. Because connectively, every human thinks money has a value, so we have put a value in certain dollars or paper that it is valuable. Same thing goes with diamond, same thing goes with uh you know gold, anything. But the point is, all of this happens in past. So why we still talk about this in modern world, right? What's the connection between our stone age mind and this modern space world? So we evolved, right? If you see our evolution, we evolved in millions of years, right? Before us, there were a lot of species, there were a lot of evolution, okay, and we became this in millions of years. And our psychology works in the same way as it's still running the Stone Age mind. How? Let's talk about senses, right? So senses are our feel, our capability of love, our our capability of feelings. That is all come from our Asian mind. And let's just say we have a brain, right? We have a brain, and let me a give an idea of how our brain work. You know, so I'm just trying to make you understand. Okay, I basically wanted different thing, but okay, let's move on. I don't think it's gonna show us. So where I was teaching you how these emotions came, right? Suppose you were in in a jungle and hunting for something. Suddenly, a more superior being like tiger, anaconda, saber tooth came after you to eat you. Okay, so how did you know ki they are there or they're trying to eat you and what to do? So we evolve indriya. what we call in Hindi, or you call it three F's: fear, flight, or freeze. Fear, freeze, flight. And how did we come to that stage? Our brain evolved that certain parts, okay, in amygdala, and secrete some chemical components. कि यार, I need to save myself, otherwise I'm gonna fucking die. And it secretes certain chemicals, and it gives you signal to you through your feelings कि यार, fuck, if I don't run, I'm gonna do. In that case, your brain secretes three things: fight, flight, freeze. Either you fight with that thing, either you freeze. Most of the time you have seen a lot of people, something happens and they are just freeze. They can't do anything, just freeze. And some people fly. And the best thing to deal with particular predator is to fly. If you are with your commemorates, if you are with your groups, then you can fucking eat that thing, right? Right, you can fight with that thing. But if you're alone, it's not the best way, or this is not the best choice to do that. You just run away from it. So this is just in one example. This is just a one example where we evolved in that stage. At the same thing, we found love, right? We meet with someone, certain chemicals, hormones come together. We we secrete something, we secrete some chemical, and we have a love. Then when we have a child, that 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 comes with some responsibility. We think for a long term, our brain secretes some more chemical, thinking of key, okay, what's the beneficial for you, to go die alone or be with someone who can take care of you when you are when you are bimar, when you are in mushkil. So that's how our brain creates certain things. Back to the psychology shift to modern phase, right? So we are born. So if you have read uh, Steven Pinker theory, he gave us the blank slate theory, where he said कि भाई, we are born preloaded. We are with the primitive software, tribal instinct, hierarchical safety, meters, and fear parameters. Right. What is it? As I've already talked about the fear parameters, कि भैया, अगर शेर खा जाएगा तो हमें शेर से नहीं भिड़ना है, भाग जाना है, ये हमारी इंस्टिंक्ट है। ठीक है। अब एक बच्चा भी जब पैदा होता है ना, यू थिंक यार, he doesn't know anything, but he comes preloaded, right? And there are certain things we put into their mind, so they can become like us, right? There are different tribes, there are different people, there are different kinds, there are different, not species, but cultural way. We are very different. North America is different from South America. South Indian are different from North Indian. Uttar Pradesh is different from Delhi. Language, culture, food, everything is different. Why? Because we have adopted our culture through demography, through geography, through the necessary and need and the resources we found when we were there, and we made our culture everything around it. As simple as that. So when we think यार ये बच्चा कुछ नहीं जानता, but the बच्चा really have that kind of instinct that we had primitively, like fear, when mother and father goes away for certain period of time, and child doesn't see them, he's gonna fucking cry. Why? Because he had that fear they have left him. Being left alone in a jungle means fucking dying. That's how we created that. And and what about you can say, Nadeem, what about the you know what about all the things he doesn't know how to talk fair, he doesn't know what religion he's following when he's born, and that's where I want you to correct here, right? So religion, beliefs, okay, these are the concepts that are, you know embedded by their parents to their children, right? That's the whole point of my book, saying that you when you are born, you are preloaded with certain parts, which is fair, you need to, and you also, you you get certain beliefs from your elders, your parents, your society, and that's where you need to think about when you are capable enough to think and form your certain identity when you are 18, 20, 25, 22, okay, or 30s, in your 30s. Okay, you have that kind of identity, right? And you still follow the certain path that your parents have given you, your religion, your community. I'm not saying, okay, you don't follow your community, you don't follow your religion where you are born in. I say do not believe in it in blindly. And it also give you a lot of struggle when you do it, because believing in something is a hope, right? And when you destroy that hope from someone, na, they don't have uh, any structure to put their self in. So it's really hard for people to, you know to destroy their hope and put their self in certain, from to different belief. That's why most of the people cannot uh, cannot get out from it, because it's really hard. It's not easy, and it's comfortable, right? Why I'm gonna go from my belief to others because someone has said to me, right? Either I'm having a problem with certain parts of my beliefs, or I'm really curious about the world. There are only two things that can make me think of certain things that is really not from my circle or not from my bubble, right? So national is a good choice where I can talk about, right? You can see every Deshbhakt. Just a second. Yes. Hmm. So nationalism is one of the debatable topic that I can bring. Let's say you are you're Indian because you were born in India. Let's say you were born in Canada. Would you be able to tell India is great country, India is a mythical country, and the religion India follow is the best and the superior? No, because you were born in Canada. You will praise Canadian, right? Canadian government, Canadian thing. You will not go and say कि यार इंडिया बढ़िया है, because you get that all mahal structure society. So you'll always people don't think of a bit of that thing कि यार तू, and it's also good to believe in the certain things, because if you don't protect yourself, protect your things, people are gonna destroy your belief. People are gonna challenge your belief, which is gonna really not gonna go well for you. So it's a cope up mechanism, I would say, to fight with these shitty things. But it is the truth, right? That too much nationalism also not good for you, right? uh, so all of this combining, you cannot think of your way out of ancestral conditioning. True shift happened at the system level of the nervous system and body. That's true. So how you can change yourself if you want to, right? So it's not something you just read and read and read and you'll think यार यार मैंने तो कमाल कर दिया. It's also something that you need to change neurologically and physically as well. So you need to make a practice of it, whatever you are doing, whatever you are changing in your life. And you need to give your uh, brain a different neuropath. So people think here, it's really hard to change things, but it is not if you do it right, right? Let's say this is your brain, right? The diagram is poor, but you can think ki this is a. So whatever you think now, there are certain paths which is called neural pathway, right? Let's say कि मेरी आदत है इस हाथ से पेन पकड़ने की, and whenever I take that pin, I take this from this hand. Okay, this that's a neural pathway which goes straight to the path where it has decided कि भैया यहीं से ही जाना है, because it 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 has a practice, and I have been doing it from the last 25 years, right? So how can I change it? How can I change this from this, right? What I'm gonna do, I'll practice this. How I'm gonna practice this? I'll try daily to take this pen consciously. from this hand daily, and certain points of time is gonna remove that path to save energy. There will be a muscle memory though. Okay, there will be a muscle memory, but it's gonna create some neural path from this way and decide कि यार अब मुझे ऐसे लेना है. Starting में it will not be comfortable, right? When I will take from this hand, जरूरी नहीं है कि मैं हमेशा इससे उठा लूंगा, because it's more comfortable and it has my neural pathway decided कि भैया इसी हाथ से उठाना है, तो always book this. ठीक है, भूल भी जाऊंगा तो इसी हाथ से उठाऊंगा क्योंकि neural pathway has decided. But I will try this again and again for the months and 2 and 3 and 4 a year, and you will drastically see the change. And तुम्हें याद भी नहीं होगा. You will use this hand to take the pen. The point of all this session was to not to think. You cannot change anything, you cannot change any habit, you cannot change any thinking that you think. It comes with the practice, and also with your body, just not by reading, just not by thinking, just by doing it. Put your body to work and you will find the solution. And also, let's move on because we don't have much time and I don't want this stream to be too big so that it crash or something, right? So let's move on to to the terror management theory, religion, belief, connection system, and sacred, right? Technology for the unbearable, bearable, right? Believed as a psychological scaffolding against the existential panic of morality, extreme uh, suffering. Triggering thoughts of mortality instantly activates Asian defenses, making us highly aggressive to differences and hyper tribal. Scapegoat mechanism. Groups naturally build up mimetic tension. We channelize collectively anxiety onto isolated victim to buy fragile peace. Audience clash. Yeah, let's go to this third segment. It's really interesting, and I will tell you why. While writing, I give it a lot of depth when I was writing it. Religious belief, connection, right? So anything which collects you into group, right? Also give it a mechanism to cope up with the things which will break it. For an example, let's say you are a fan, right? It's not about just religion, it's about anything. Let's say fandom, communism, take it. Let's say you follow any politician, let's say you follow any sports person, right? Anything that you feel is really a great personality. What you will find now throughout this, इसको याद रखना, जब भी ऐसा होता है, you'll find debating and mm, protecting them from other beliefs, right? If someone say Modi ji is really bad, you're gonna defend him. Why? Because you believe in him. So these groupism comes with its own advantage, that gives people certain that gives your brain certain blocks where they can't think of the bad thing of the thing that you really believe is good. So when the left wing said to the right wing, ki you have done some genocide, and the people who follow right are normal people and do not love genocide, no, do not love genocide, they hate people killing. But when it comes to to their party and their beliefs, they're gonna spike and say कि यार, their brain will spike and they will say things that they shouldn't, right? So that's what this religion does to you, that this community, this groupism does to you. And and one incident happened with me that I wrote in this book, and that's all I want to share, was when in Bakrid, I I you know I killed that goat just because it's if you don't know, guys, what Bakrid is, so Bakrid is a festival of Muslim. We sacrifice animals to give our loved ones a tribute, and also to to the people who are poor and needy, to give them a good nutritious food, right? So I still remember when I was killing that goat, I had a knife in my head and a throat, and I really, you know, really was thinking about ki how I feel about that, right? How I feel about things which is really disturbing, that that I did it. I'll also wrote a blog back then. I'll put the link down below. Uh, and then I read and researched, and also knew that key it's not something new that I don't know. It was just something that I knew but still did it. And that's what the consequences of being in a group does. You cannot uh, you know leave your group, because uh, if you do, then you are alone, and being alone in this world means dying, right? Psychologically, you need your community, your people. And if you do, means you are not true to yourself, what you can do. I find really interesting thing that you know these are the coop up mechanism of human, that that we are doing for the millions of years, because we just want to something to escape from, right? We, as a human, we have all the emotions: fear, love, jealousy, okay, and suppressing every feelings and emotion is gonna backfire. So what we did, we as a religion made a cope up mechanism from all the things that we can that can destroy ourselves, right? Is and terror management theory is one of them, right? Where we we put burden of our morality, our bad shit to some scapegoat and kill it in the name of something that is not, you know, fair, right? But as an evolutionary perspective, fuck it. We all dominate, all species, superior species dominate other species, right? If we don't do that, we cannot survive. It's all about evolution, it's all about survival. So fuck it. But being an apprentice of human nature, it's my duty and it's my uh you know it's my feelings, I would say, that suggests that it's something off if I really want to do it. So that's what I think of it. But again, it's all perspective and it's all uh, underneath the same umbrella, and you cannot say it's wrong because it's part of our human nature. Okay, so there are two things that I really want you to know. Okay, there are a lot of things I can't just put everything there. There are just 10% thing that I have given you from my book. I haven't talked about the belief system, all from all from back to this day, how it works and everything. You can find it on my manuscript. I have link down below. Check it out if you are interested in reading. Okay, readers, it is for you, not for someone who's just interested in same things. And also, uh, I'm putting down a question on you guys. What do you think about this? The philosophy, living philosophy in this world, is it is it still exist, or people are still following religion and by living there by philosophy, and they are evolved from that and are still having instinct for other things. And also there's a thing that I wrote in my book, that ego is a good thing, right? But killing ego is also a bad thing, right? But having an ego is a bad thing, killing an ego is a bad thing. So what should be in between? So comment section is open. Go type it out. And तब तक के लिए, and yes, there's one thing that I like to you know exit before this, before I like to tell before exiting. Everything you currently believe was pre-installed in your operating system before you could read terms and conditions. Oh, no. So one thing that I really want you to understand is die yourself. It's a philosophy by Marcus Aurelius, which was written thousands of years ago. And he said, know yourself. Knowing yourself gives you a freedom to detach from a lot of things that you are just clinging on to and that are just destroying you internally. And knowing yourself means knowing what you really believe in. Knowing yourself means what you really want to do. Knowing yourself means a lot of things that you can become that you are not. So know yourself, always ask question, and always read book. And that's it for now. And I hope from this live stream, you guys have uh, have an understanding, and at least a bit of understanding would be, you know, really great and really, I'd be really thankful if any of you have got anything from this live stream. Thank you so much. Bye. Allah Hafiz. Take care. Sat Sri Akal. Namaskar.